Hello and welcome. Welcome, everybody. You are live with Sandra, your RDN, registered dietitian, nutritionist. And first, I want to congratulate and welcome each and every one of you personally to Summer Shape Up 3-day challenge designed to help you to get ready for the summer. It's right around the corner. And I am super excited to host this annual challenge. And I am even more excited to have each and every one of you join me on this epic ride as we hit the reset button as we're close to midpoint into the year and we're trying to get back on track with our weight loss goals before the summer begins. And so whatever those goals were you set in January, it's still not too late. So this is the perfect time to get motivated and excited about your personal weight loss and health goals again, okay? And so I am going to post a banner. If anybody knows me, I love engagement and I like to do a poll just to kind of get an idea of who I have on the call. So as you are tuning in, as you are chiming in, please feel free to say your name, where you're tuning in from, and what are you excited most, or what are you looking forward to most about this challenge next week? And so yes or no, are you comfortable going into the summer? Are you comfortable wearing your shorts, your tank tops, your bathing suits, just getting out there wearing your summer clothes? And the summer is rolling around a lot sooner than we think. So don't feel discouraged if the summer is sneaking up on you and you're not where you want to look. You're not where you want to be. You're not wearing the things that you want to wear, or you don't feel comfortable. And so I've got you covered. You still have time to shed a few extra pounds, get healthy, get more energy. And if you're willing to make the right changes, then the goals are already within your reach, all right? And so the good news is we're starting off early because summer does not officially begin until around June 20th. So we got some time. A lot can happen, all right? And so the purpose of hosting challenges throughout the year is directly tied to my passion for helping people to become the best versions of themselves in a healthy, sustainable manner without taking extreme measures such as cutting out food groups, going 8+ hours without eating every single day. And we all have common goals. We want to break weight loss plateaus. We want to fit better into our clothes and things like that. And we also want to boost our confidence, and while developing some life skills in the process, like discipline, planning, consistency, and giving yourself grace, even when you feel like you didn't do everything that you were supposed to do, you didn't get it all in, or maybe you didn't even eat the best. It is not about perfection. It is never about perfection. It is about staying in the game and progressing a little bit more every single day. All right. So those are just to name a few. So if all this is relatable, just chime in and say relate. Okay. Just say relate. And at the end of the day, I am committed to helping people move forward in their weight loss, health goals, and to become successful. Okay. And success comes in many different forms, and there's many different things that make up success. All right. And so I'm about creating a lifestyle of self-care and about breaking those food strongholds. Okay. And so you'll hear me talk a lot about that, because self-care is very important in not just losing weight, but just feeling healthy. And so we don't want to lose ourselves in the process of trying to become the best versions of ourselves. All right, so if any questions or any comments, I'd like for this to serve as a two-way form of communication. So do not hesitate to chime in and say, and just share, okay? That's what it's about. And so let's talk about the agenda. And so for the agenda for tonight, so I'm going to step through the guidebook, which is your roadmap, okay? This is your roadmap, your blueprint over the 3-day challenge that begins next week. And it also has the schedule of events. So you'll know exactly when I'm going live, exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to talk about the timing of meals. That's so important, the timing of meals, and how the challenge will run throughout these 3 days. Okay, we're going to have check-ins, we're going to have engagement opportunities, you're going to have live training, and then also you all will have access to the replays immediately, okay, because you all are part of the group and you all have joined the challenge. And then we'll take Q&A. So if you have any questions, we will talk about that as well. Okay. And so let's jump in. I'd like to jump in and share my personal story, okay, and what led me to get to this place. And I title my story simply how my setback of high blood pressure turned into my comeback as a registered dietitian, because this is actually my second career. And so my first career, I went to school for computer information systems at Florida A&M University. And then about 15 years later, I went back to school after working in IT for all of those years as a programmer, as a database analysis. And so it definitely was a full circle turn, but it's where God led me. And so he gave me everything that I needed to do to get through. And so how my setback of high blood pressure became my comeback as an RD is my personal 3-year battle with weight loss and trying to get my own blood pressure under control. And in my early 30s, I was tagged with pre-hypertension, and my doctor gave me the advice to lose 20 to 25 pounds, and handed me this piece of paper and said, here are a list of foods that you should avoid that are high in salt. And the doctor gave me about 3 months to try to get it under control before we would discuss medications. And so the word medications was nothing that I wanted to hear. At that time, I was not on anything, and I didn't want to get on blood pressure medicine. Yes, blood pressure runs in my family, and so I wanted to avoid it at all costs. I didn't want to get on medications. I wanted to break the family cycle, and I was afraid when I got this news because I had never received unfavorable news from the doctor before. I would go and everything is well. And I didn't really have a plan. I mean, just telling me, giving me the sheet of paper and to lose weight. And I really didn't know what to do. And so I tried on my own for 3 years to try to lose 20 pounds and to gain control of my blood pressure, to no avail. Okay. Eventually, after I realized that I was just not getting it, I was putting myself at more risk of health problems because over these 3 years, I'm still not on medications. My blood pressure is still high. My weight hasn't gone down. And so I'm really compounding the problem versus helping the problem. And so I partnered with a registered dietitian who not only helped me to successfully lose the 20 pounds in 3 months, even though I had been trying for 3 years, but also gave me the tools, which is most importantly, on how to keep it off. And I've done that since 2000. And I've had many life changes over the past 24 years. I cannot believe it's been that long. Went back to school, changed careers, got married, had a baby, etc., and everything in between. And so my failed attempts of trying to figure it out on my own and not knowing what I didn't know about weight loss, about eating healthy, inspired me to go back to school to get the proper training, the credentials, so that I can help others, help you ditch that fear around certain foods and misguided information that we tend to flock to because we want to get it off fast. Even though we didn't put it on fast, we want to get it off fast and to get control over a health condition. And lower meds, improve your labs. And so I really wanted to help make that journey less daunting, less restrictive, less deprivation feeling and all of that. And so I fell many times before I was able to gain my own control back. And so people ask me what motivates me to stay on track when I fall off. Simply you all, my clients, in doing what I do. And when you all participate in my challenges and my programs, and those of you who engage with me on social throughout the week, all those things kind of keep me on my toes and keep me accountable because I'm accountable to all of you all. And when you share your testimonies, that's probably really the most heartfelt, especially when I know that a certain pain points existed in your life, and now all of a sudden those pain points don't exist anymore. You feel comfortable in your clothes. You go out now. You're not exhausted at the end of the day. You're able to do the things that you enjoy doing, and to hear things like prediabetes being reversed, hearing medications being reduced, hearing people get off CPAP machines and avoiding surgery because of the weight that they were carrying. So those are the things that really just say, hey, this is what it's all about. And this is why God put me here, because I'm here to serve you. And this is my ministry. And notice I did not mention anything about weight loss. Okay. Weight loss is a bonus. It's a bonus side effect. So that naturally occurs as part of the process when you make real change, sustainable change, realistic change that actually fits into your lifestyle, instead of you feeling like you have to alter everything you know and everything you do, or feeling like you can't even do anything. So that's really what it's all about, keeping things as natural as we can, and understanding that you got to respect the process and know that the process does take time. Okay. And so Inspired, reply inspired, or you are ready to do this, or both. Okay. So if I can lose weight and keep it off, and when I fall off track, the key is knowing how to get back on track. We all fall, but how do we get up? And that's really the big thing. How do we really get up? And when I say keep it off, I have this window of max weight gain, and you got to have a window. Otherwise, you can very easily gain all your lost weight back and then some. And many of us have experienced that. So we know that frustration. So once I get to that window, and sometimes I'm a pound or two over that window, but that's when I know I got to reel it in. It's a lot easier to lose 5-6 pounds than it is to lose 20 pounds, right? So you want to make sure you keep that window of gain, because when you gain, you're out of control. At the end of the day, you're out of control, whether that's with eating, whether that's with not setting boundaries, whether feeling overwhelmed, but we have lost control somewhere. And so we want to reel it in sooner than later. And empowering my clients on how to reel it back in, how to properly reset are one of my key philosophies, because it's a way to do that to where you're not feeling like you have to give up everything. Okay. And so the reality is we all must get back on track at some point in this journey. Okay. Including myself, including all dietitians. All right. So I'm not immune. I have to do the same things that I preach to you all. All right. So doable. Hopefully you feel that all of this is doable. Okay. It's not a right, wrong. You got to do it by this day, that day. Everybody has a different journey. Always remember that. Okay. A different journey. So let's get to the guidebook. Okay. And so again, any questions or comments, don't hesitate to chime in. So let's get to the good stuff. And so the good stuff is, and hopefully you have a copy. So if you don't have a copy of the guide, whether it's digital or on paper, I recommend you having a copy of it so that you can follow along. I'm going to look at mine as well. And so when you first open the guidebook, and it's about 20 some pages long, but it's a lot of good information in here. Okay. And so when you open it up, it's going to let you know what the topics are that we are going to talk about on each particular day, starting on May 7th. So you will know the topics that we are talking about. And I encourage you to tune in live, because it really makes this more engaging than just, okay, here's a plan, go follow it. But if you're actually able to hear some of the related education behind it and the related topics behind it, it kind of really helps to seal the deal. And you're also around others as well who are doing it with you, so you all can share your information and share your journey and share what you're going through. Okay. And you can share in the form of a post. You can share in the form of videos. I've had people upload videos, pictures, anything. Okay. We want to make it fun. Okay. And so the next section goes into why I put this challenge together. So it just goes into some information more about me and why the challenge was created. And so that'll give you more insight on the purpose and how it originated. And then we're going to talk about the meal plan in brief. Okay, and this is the second page. And this is going to introduce you and to provide you some tips and some little tricks about what okay, so you're going to go past the main cover that has the cover. So we're going to go past this one. And then now we are on the actual section that will talk about the tips and how to navigate. And so this will talk about the grocery list. And I recommend going through the itemized grocery list that's given and checking off things that you have, okay? Because it's time, so you don't purchase things that you already have. And in addition to that, go through each of the recipes, because each of the recipes has a note section that usually will give some substitutions. And so that will also save you some time or save you some money, and to use some of the things that you already have in your pantry. And if there's a substitution that you need that is not listed either in the note section or in the section that I have also provided, then don't hesitate to reach out, okay? So I can actually make sure that you're accommodated, okay? And then you have the prep guide, which is towards the end. So once you get past all of the meals and all of the recipes, in the back is a prep guide. And this is very, very important, especially for those who are not kitchen savvy or just kind of need a little help managing the kitchen, when to do things. It's a step-by-step guide, and it will give you each day, do this, do this. And some days you're just doing leftovers, or you may make one thing, but you're not going to have to stay in the kitchen all day on Sunday trying to prep for 3 days of meals and snacks and things like that. And so the beauty of this is so you can see what it's like to plan and how easy it can come. And then as you get more experience with it, it becomes easier and easier. But I want you to really get the benefits of grab and go. Your snacks are there. Your meals are there. You're not having to reinvent or make everything every single day. So that's the beauty of it. And then leftovers, they will give you some information on, on many days you will have leftovers. Like Sunday, you will prepare for Monday. And then once you get prepared for Monday, then you're kind of titrating, maybe one meal or one snack or something like that you're making to keep things going. Okay. And let's see here. And then the meal plan grid, which is nice. You can kind of see the whole week in one view. And so you'll see the smoothies, you'll see what's for lunch all 3 days. Plus there was enough leftovers for the dinner on Wednesday to where you can actually have it on the next day, which on Thursday, I think after the challenge ends. So that's a good thing. And so that way you just kind of get a visual of what the meals are going to look like. Okay. And let's see here. And the grocery list, remember, look at that first, as well as flipping through the recipes to look at the notes to be able to get those substitutions. Now, as far as prepping, we start on a Tuesday. So you can choose when you want to prep. Okay. And so you can prep either on Sunday or you can prep on Monday. It just kind of depends on your schedule and how hectic things are for you. The weekends are a classic prep day, but again, it just depends on your schedule. And so some tips with the smoothies. You can, depending on your schedule, I like to make my smoothies to order. So I make mine the morning of. Some people, due to time, they need to make them the night before, and then, you shake it up and you can drink it. If you like your consistency of smoothie like creamy and thick, which is what I like, I actually freeze my bananas and apples, and you'll use zucchini and avocado in one of them, and you can freeze those. You can buy the mangoes already frozen and chopped up. So I like to use that and to thicken up my smoothies versus using ice. So I kind of have a nice little stash in my freezer of different fruits and vegetables and things like that I freeze for my smoothies. And then let's see here. The tuna salad is very easy. You can do that on that same prep day, whether it's Sunday or Monday. So these are the things you're going to prep for day one. So the smoothies, making your tuna salad, you're going to make the trail mix, which is a fun one. That is definitely a fun one to have. And the hummus, if you're not already buying them in individual containers, you can actually put them in individual containers to make it easier for you if you're going to have a hectic week or hectic Monday. And optionally, you can prepare the peanut Thai zucchini noodles if, like I said, Monday's a little hectic because that's the dinner on Monday, or you can do it on that day, and then you'll have the leftovers for lunch the next morning or the next day. So it just kind of depends on your schedule. So make it work for you. Okay. So these are just some of the tips to kind of help make things flow, or to give you something to think about to figure out how things will work for your particular schedule. But the goal is grab and go as much as possible. So you want to have things already ready to go, not you trying to pull it out and try to get it all ready. Okay. And then I will go over the remaining days during the live. So on Tuesday, when we go live, I will talk about what to do for the rest of Tuesday, because I'm going live at 11:30. So the rest of Tuesday, and then what to do Wednesday up until we have our live. So I'll kind of give you a breast of some tips and things of what to do. Okay. And so the next big topic and popular topic is the timing of meals. Okay. Timing is important. People kind of wonder, does it matter? Yes, it does matter. And so to get the most out of these 3 days, I recommend eating breakfast within 2 hours of waking up. So have your smoothie within 2 hours, whatever that is for you. The sooner the better. The 2-hour window is just kind of to give you some kind of structure to where it doesn't turn into 6 hours before you eat something. And then it's recommended to space your main meals, your breakfast, lunch, dinner, about 3.5 to 4 hours after a meal. So most of you will not feel hungry because most of your metabolisms are slow, especially if you've been kind of dieting or cutting back with calories or restricting carbs. So if it's been 3.5, 4 hours, eat. Okay. Trust me, you're not stuffed. or anything like that. So just eat, because that's the process of waking up your metabolism. When your body realizes you're going to give it I call it a slow release of energy, where you're going to eat throughout the day. Strive to have lunch between lunchtime hours, which is typically between 11 and 1. Okay, typically. We can, maybe push it to 2, but we don't want to turn it into where we're getting close to your afternoon snack time and even dinner. So if you start trying to have more of a structure when you're eating, that will help your body run optimal and hum at its best. And therefore, you're not feeling so tired and sluggish at the end of the day. Snacks are designed to last you about 1 to 2 hours. So move your snacks to meet your schedule. You notice there's no times on here. So that's because everybody's schedule is different. So if you're at that 3.5, 4 hour mark and you're not really in a position to have lunch or that next meal, or maybe it's just too early or the timing is not the best, that is the perfect time to have a snack. So pick one of the snacks. You can go, well, actually there's one snack on this particular challenge. So have that snack, and then you will, well, actually really it's the morning snack is optional typically. And so the smoothies in many cases will last you to lunch. So you really would only want to move it unless you're just in a situation where you got thrown into a meeting or something, or you just really cannot eat. Otherwise, try to have your snack in the afternoon between lunch and dinner. Kind of, maybe around that 3 to 4 time frame, because that's when typically people kind of get munchy. But if you're having your smoothie, 8, 9 o'clock, then that typically will get you to a lunchtime hour. So you just have to play around with that. And if you find yourself kind of wondering, then don't hesitate to ask me a question about that. But don't skip the snack, okay? Don't skip the snack. Since it's only one on this particular challenge, it's recommended to have it in the afternoon, but again, it's based off of your schedule. Okay? So how will the challenge run? So we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have opportunities for some check-ins in the morning and check-ins in the evening. And so therefore, like the morning check-in is more to capture breakfast and lunch. And then the evening check-in is more to catch that afternoon snack and dinner. And so please chime in. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know how, tell us if you had challenges with prepping and planning or getting it in, or because that helps everybody else. Okay. And then it allows me to help to give you some feedback and some guidance. And so, and the best way for us to learn is through each other. So usually you'll see these posts around 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. And so you have, but you chime in, as you can. And that, and like I said, the morning post will kind of grab that breakfast and lunch. Okay. And then the afternoon post can kind of get that afternoon snack as well as the dinner. And let me know if, and share your mood, share how you're feeling. Are you feeling more energetic? Are you less desiring that nap? Are you able to go to the gym now? Are you able to work out? Are you able to work out longer? Are you sleeping better? Share some of the outcomes, or share some of the differences that you're feeling. Okay. So I love that feedback, because then we can talk about it. And again, I will go live on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11:30 a.m. And please mark your calendars. Please mark your calendars. Allow yourself to become available to where you can take advantage of this. Even if you can't stay the whole time, that's great. But at least pop in, pop out, because that will really help you to get the most out of it. It's just something about engaging live. We have the replays that are available, but just it's fun to engage live, and plus to give you a break and to enjoy lunch. Okay. So please try to mark your calendars. And if you have any questions between now and the weekend, people typically shop on the weekends, then don't hesitate to update in this thread. I will monitor it as well as my team, and we will get back with you so that you can have the answers that you need so that you're ready for success on Tuesday. Okay? So if there's any questions or any comments, then don't hesitate to post them right now. But this challenge is all about having fun, trying new foods, or even different combinations. No, I don't think there's too many things on here that's kind of foreign to people. it's pretty common everyday foods, but maybe the combination of the foods are different. So it's an opportunity to really get the maximum amount of nutrients you can in a short period of time. So enjoy your food while giving your body a burst of energy. Okay. And so we want our bodies to stay ready and armed so we're not always being reactive to getting, sick or feeling like we have to pump ourselves up with supplements and vitamins and things like that. If you stay ready and keep your body constantly fueled with all this good stuff, then if we do, because we all are going to get an illness every now and then, it doesn't have to take you down as long, and it doesn't have to take you down as hard. Okay. So I'm a firm believer that food is our number one supplement when it's done right. And you can still have fun foods in the mix as well. Okay. So it's not about giving up a whole bunch of stuff that you really love. So this is just the first step, just the beginning of getting back on track with your personal weight loss goals and just personal health goals. And so this is a great next step for breaking those food strongholds. And when you get towards the end of the guidebook, you'll just see some information on what's next. And because it doesn't have to end at the end of the 3 days. And so you can take a look at that at the end of the challenge as well. And you'll see all the different ways that you can connect with me, whether it's on social, whether that's on my blog, whether that's in my newsletter, whether that is on my website. So there's many ways that you can connect with me. All right. And so any questions or comments, I thank you for taking time to tune in. I look forward to joining you live on Tuesday, and have a